Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back. We just got some breaking news out of Houston. Make sure y'all go ahead and subscribe to this channel if you're not already subscribed. Give it a like, comment down below. Let me know where exactly y'all from and who y'all rocking with. Sauce Walka, if you guys are fans of Mob Ties, Takeoff, Migos, Young Dolph, let me know down below, man. So, we just spoke to everybody in Houston after the whole RICO charge. Did the RICO charge go down? Was it for the stuff that happened in LA? Was it for the stuff that happened in Houston? A lot of people are talking, but the streets of Houston are hot right now. Folks are getting picked up left and right on all sides, every ward, every hood. Man, they are coming. They pulled up on Sauce Walka like it was the end of times for him, man. They pulled up. Helicopters blocking the sunlight. They swooped down on the ropes, climbed down on the ladder in full entire tactical gear, and they pinned Sauce Walka with the baton and told him he's got to get down and freeze. That's when they swooped him up. They got so many TSF members. They got so many of them. All of them connected in whatever way that they had to figure it out. But today was the day. Full force, they came out. So many people, 14 of them, that they had to use zip ties on half of them because it was so many people that they were rounding up at the same exact time. They did not see this coming. They did not prepare for this day, but they knew it was coming soon, or they might not have at all, because this whole entire time, ever since Sauce Walka went down to LA and that situation happened where that one dude, yup, you know what I'm talking about. I reported on it back then, so you got to go and catch up. But let me refresh y'all. Certain situation happened with Sauce Walka where somebody got into it and somebody ended up getting hit, and that's when he ended up fleeing. All that stuff happened, and the dude caught it all on film. The fan, all that, everybody was upset. Well, ever since that, they was looking at TSF, they was looking at Sauce Walka, and maybe even before that, but that could have just been something that might made it to where they were definitely gonna sweep in Houston and take care of what they had to take care of, what they did. So basically, they've been watching him, keeping an eye on every member of his crew. They've been looking through, peeping around the corner, around the block, coming around, looking and using binoculars. They were zooming in on lenses and everything like that. They had telescopes right on, aimed right at them, looking at every single move that they did because they was watching. Yep, best believe they watching, man. They gonna watch, and they got that, when they get hit with the RICO, when they get hit with the feds and sweep and all of that, it's a 99% success rate that they got. 90% in the up there, man. It's not too many people that have actually got out of the situation. So what you got to look at is, like, just when the other day they was laughing at Gunna, they was looking at Young Thug like sideways, like, how did y'all get caught up in this? But they had no idea that it was about to happen to them. Man, folks was spooked. Folks was scared when them dudes jumped out on them, when them jump out boys came up and rolled up in the van, swerving around the corner of the alley and coming out of the sewer drains and pulling up the manhole covers and climbing out of the ladder wet and stinky. And they really came up and seen that this was the time to move. Everybody knew that they had a routine of where they was at, where they go to the same, food spot or whatever, right? And then next thing you know, boom, they caught them up there eating barbecue in Houston, Texas, because everybody knows in Texas they eat barbecue. They be having all that kind of stuff. So what happened is that on their way to one of the barbecue joints, they knew that they went there every single Saturday. They were like, okay, Saturday, Sunday. On Sunday, we going to see when they go to that barbecue spot. And so what happened is that as they were pulling up, everybody's lined up when the barbecue spots open in Texas. Everybody knows this. If you know Texas, you know that as soon as the early morning when people get up, they start getting in them barbecue lines. So there was already some of the TSF members in one of the barbecue lines. And the next thing you know, when Sauce Walka and his people, they started pulling up. They pulled up in a pink Maybach with rims that stuck out 2 feet, elbows on 84s and Vogues, man. And the reason why they even stopped them was because what they were doing, they was changing lanes continuously, simultaneously swerving through the street without a signal. And that's what really caused them to get stopped in the first place, because that was the reason why, that they could come and check up on them and see what if they had anything extra, or if anything was going to go down, if they was going to run. But as soon as they did that, they said they knew that was Sauce Walka in them, because they had 1% tint. They even some of them even had -5% tint on their windows, so you didn't actually know it was Sauce Walka or them until they stepped out of the pink Maybach. And the whole thing about that is like, okay, so they was watching them, so they already knew that they had the pink Maybachs, and some of them got the orange Fanta decoration wraps on they, they trucks. And man, they had they some of them pulled up in the lowriders, and they knew that was them because they popped their trunk and they seen the neon letters in the back spelled TSF. That's when they knew, okay, that's the people that they're looking for. Then next thing you know, the dudes with the choppers start coming down because they got the green light. They have sent some type of signal, some type of Batmobile signal, Batman sign in the sky, and told them, yep, TSF is all here. And that's how they got all 14 of them, because it wasn't just a random amount. They knew all 14 of them, and it could even be more now, because not everybody was at the same spot at the same exact time. It's some of the people who was still probably on the run, or maybe they hadn't popped out that day, maybe they're not connected yet. But all I know is that people better lay low, because what's going on is there's going to be a lot of telling. Maybe some people, they're not, out of all 14 people, not every single one of them might not end up not saying nothing. It could be somebody that end up saying it. Some people are going to have to tell, because when they look at what they getting hit with, how much time and this and that, oh man, some people are going to get spooked out. They're going to say, you know what, I ain't do nothing, somebody else did it. And that's when the finger pointing starts happening, the blame game starts happening. And unless they give them that silent treatment, somebody's going to end up talking. And what's going to happen is that, hey, they're going to look at Sauce Walka, they're going to look at the top dudes in the whole TSF, and they're going to be like, okay, and we don't even know where Sosa Man was at this whole entire time, man. They still probably looking for him, and we don't know if it was a Sauce Walka thing or was it a Sosa Man thing, because if they saying it's TSF getting hit with it, then that means it's got to include everybody, maybe even Peso, Sosa Man, Sauce Walka, you name it, man. All them dudes is about to be, because it's all under TSF. And so that's why they had to bring out the zip ties, because there's so many people. That crew is so deep. And it's a lot of crews in Houston, but mainly you got TSF with Sauce Walka and all them and the people that I just said. And then you got mob ties with Prince Jr. and Jazz and all those guys. And so that's a whole nother crazy thing too. Is like, okay, are they just looking at TSF? Are they looking at the other side or anything like that? Is this like really going down? Now it seemed like just when you thought that it was going to be somebody from Atlanta or something like that after the whole Young Thug situation, it ended up being in Houston with the whole situation of Takeoff happening at the same exact time. And so if you really think about it, whatever it was that TSF did, whatever it was that they was doing, what they was getting into behind the scenes, behind closed doors, who knows what they were doing. Whatever they got on them, they must have seen something going down. They must have did something, because they don't just come and sweep like that and come down on choppers and helicopters like that for nobody. Like, they only do that to big time, like, boss henchmen, ringleaders. And you got to understand that this is some ringleader type situation. If they had to get them and round up 14 people, you know how hard it is just to get one person. That they got 14 people, not at the same exact time, people. That is crazy. That means that they had this thing pat down, exactly knew how to, all the proof, had all the paperwork to show what happened, and they probably got a bulletin board somewhere that has the strings connecting newspapers, and every single time something went down, and where Sauce Walka was, and where TSF was at, and what they had in their cup, and where they was doing this and doing that at, and all this and that, man. And the whole time when they was going to Johnny Dang, they was getting their grills done at Johnny Dang. They seen them going there. They seen him going to all the little spots to get the little corner store sodas, to get the exotic pops. They seen them doing that. They seen him standing there and shooting the music videos. They followed them and looked and watched them do every single thing for the last whole entire, who knows, years, months, days. It don't matter, because when they hit, they came up on them and they got them, rounded them up like it was over, like it was like, okay, fun and games is done. But subscribe to the channel and like this video and comment down below.